Hi guys, so I'm here to do a bit of a chatty video on how I became a vegetarian. A few people requested this when I did my vegan kind unboxing video, where obviously I mentioned I was a vegetarian, and I've been a vegetarian for about 11 years now, and when people asked for this video I thought hopefully I could do it in a sort of helpful fashion that for those of you who are thinking about becoming vegetarians might find it helpful in your conversion. But please, before anybody comments, I'm not here to tell you that you must be a vegetarian or that you are the child of Satan because you eat meat. I also am not a vegan. I have nothing against veganism and have considered veganism before. I am a vegetarian and that is what I am and that is what I am not. I am not here to preach, just to help if you're interested. I also want to point out that I also don't think people that eat meat are evil. We in places like the UK and the US and Europe, we are raised in like a meat eating society and it's the norm for most people. I also appreciate there are some people whose health really does benefit from eating meat and it is necessary because of health conditions. And I also have nothing against like ethical, traditional, free-ranged organic farmers who farm animals. Like it is like a long historical job, and like yeah, I have friends that have been brought up in farming backgrounds. I do, however, getting onto it, I do have a massive problem with factory farming and caged hens, and I do have a problem when people act as if vegetarianism is unhealthy and that we need to eat meat, because no, most people don't need to eat meat. Like I said, I appreciate some people do benefit from meat, but most people do not need to eat meat if they live a balanced vegetarian lifestyle, if they so choose to. I also don't really appreciate people who do excessively eat meat and from really bad sources and basically condone animal cruelty through the products that they buy. So basically I'm all about the rational and the reasonable, and those are my feelings on the matter. So let's get into my story of becoming a vegetarian, shall we? I wanted to be a vegetarian for years before I actually became a vegetarian. Throughout my childhood developed this like consciousness that I didn't want to eat animals. As soon as I became more aware of the fact that some of the food I was putting into my body were dead animals, I didn't want that. I didn't want to eat it. It was just like an innate desire within me not to be doing that. I knew vegetarianism was a thing because some of our family friends and the people I grew up with were vegetarians, so I knew it was a thing, and I consciously decided it was something I also wanted to undertake. My mother and father very wisely, however, said, "Jean, we're very supportive, we have nothing against you being a vegetarian, that is absolutely fine, but first you must eat vegetables." Which was fine, that was fair enough. I was just like going through that standard childhood phase that I'm sure a lot of children go through, you know, when you're like 8, 9, 10, where anything green is a no-go. I didn't want to eat vegetables. The only vegetable I liked were carrots. Everything else I was like, gross, don't make me eat that. I just wanted to live off bread. But that was not okay. Like with any diet, whether you're a vegan, a vegetarian, an omnivore, you've got to eat a balance, and so I sorted out my diet. I was young and I gradually built up what I ate. I forced myself to eat things I didn't think I liked, and I developed my palate and I started eating a much wider range of foods, and now I feel like obviously since I was a kid I now have a much wider like interest in food, although that might have happened anyway regardless of me being a vegetarian, because like I said, I was a child. So when I was about 12 I had passed the vegetable test according to my parents and was allowed to stop eating meat, but for various reasons I decided to keep eating fish. So at first, when I decided to convert to vegetarianism, I did it more gradually and became a pescatarian. So I didn't eat meat, I didn't eat pigs or cows or sheep or birds, whatever, but I did eat fish, and that lasted for about a year. And I think it made the transition easier, although even though I ate fish, it wasn't like I ate fish every day because I wasn't a massive fan of fish. There was some fish I liked and some I didn't, so I wasn't like desperate to eat fish every single day, but it did make it easier. It did make it a lot easier that I ate fish. It probably made it a bit easier for my parents to sort of figure out what they were cooking, although my parents were very like understanding and were happy to cook whatever. Like my dad's a really good cook and they were happy to cook vegetarian food or cook vegetarian options for me. That was really good of them. But for the first year I did eat fish. As the year progressed, for various reasons, I decided I didn't want to eat fish either. For me, it didn't make sense to not eat other animals and to still eat fish. I still saw fish as living creatures and I still felt guilty about eating them, and I didn't want to eat them. It definitely made it easier, and I would not hold it against anybody who decides to be a pescatarian, because I still think it's like a great step forward, and for me it's better than nothing. But I couldn't really go on eating fish, and like in my heart I was like, no, I feel really bad for the fish. So I stopped eating fish after about a year when I was around 13. And so when I was 13 I was like straight up full vegetarian. Now I have never had to take supplements ever. Most people who decide to be vegetarians, not vegans, do not have to take supplements. It is perfectly possible to lead a incredibly healthy lifestyle as a vegetarian. So many people that eat meat just go around eating McDonald's all day. I mean, I'm sure that's not most of you, but just because you eat meat doesn't mean you're healthy, because it's about where your food's from and how your food's cooked and what kind of food you're eating, and that applies to all diets. So I've never had to take supplements. I'm pretty sure if you're a vegan you do need to take supplements, but because I eat animal byproducts I don't take supplements. I have high iron levels, I can give blood, I am healthy, great, fab. So there you go, don't worry about that, you should be okay. When it comes to meat alternatives, although I really like tofu, I cannot eat tofu or soya milk without being very ill. It really upsets my stomach, it makes me sick. I am just really like soya, tofu intolerant. My body just doesn't like it. So I do, over the years I have like tended to avoid those kind of foods. The other popular meat alternative is corn. I used to eat a lot more corn when I was younger. When I was a bit fussier, it was easier for my parents to sometimes like buy corn sausages if they were having normal sausages, things like that. I would eat like corn scallops and various corn things when I was a kid. Now I very rarely eat corn, except for my favourite corn product, which I still eat, is corn meatballs. To make like spaghetti meatballs but with corn meatballs. Those I really like, but other than that I don't eat a lot of corn. I do quite like vegan fake chicken for sandwiches sometimes, but generally speaking I don't eat that much fake meat. I started off eating a lot more fake meat because it was easier. As the years have passed I found things I kind of prefer as replacements to fake meat, so just don't eat it as much now. So you certainly don't need to eat fake meat, but there is also a lot of alternatives out there if you would like. The main difference from what I recall is the texture. Now obviously it has been a long time since I actually ate meat, so I can't really remember, but from what other people say and from what I remember is the texture. Sometimes the taste can be quite close but the texture is like way off, so just know that it's not going to be as chewy. The other thing to watch out for is sneaky meat. So many foods have sneaky meat in them, right? So like I didn't realise this. For years I ate things like marshmallows. Most marshmallows are not vegetarian. But like this is the thing, do not like beat yourself up about these mistakes you'll make in the beginning, especially if you're younger. So in the first few years of me being a vegetarian, I ate marshmallows, I ate a variety of like jelly sweeties like Haribo and stuff, and these like Dairy Milk, Cadbury's do these like yogurt pots which are like chocolate yogurt with like bits of chocolate going in them, and the chocolate yogurt is not vegetarian. Various things like this. Quite often like the really processed sweet things and things like cheesecakes have gelatin or some other kind of meat product in them. There used to be like some ice creams and butters and things and cheeses would not be vegetarian, but I think less so now. So don't worry so much about that. Most of those things are vegetarian now. But do check, like it might take a bit of googling and research or just looking on the back of packets of things if you're a little bit unsure when you're in shops. And it might take a while and you might eat some things that have gelatin in them, but that is fine, right? Like you are not perfect and you're trying, so like yay. And don't beat yourself up. Also, a couple of slip-ups. Like when I became a vegetarian, that year when I was a pescatarian, there was at least 2 occasions I can remember I also ate meat. There's only once in my lifetime have I eaten a McDonald's burger, because I'd never had one when I was a kid. If I ever went to McDonald's as a child, I'd gotten chicken nuggets, right? And in this year, between 12 and 13, I went to McDonald's with my friends when I was supposed to be a pescatarian and had a McDonald's burger. The only McDonald's burger I've had in my entire life was when I was a pescatarian. And I remember it being vile. So yeah, like, do you know what? It is a transition, and It's easy to be a vegetarian once you are a vegetarian. Like, I don't find being a vegetarian at all difficult. There's always at least one vegetarian option in a restaurant. So I wouldn't suggest being a really fussy vegetarian because you have narrowed down your options in restaurants, but you don't have to like everything. There's usually one. If you're pescatarian, there's always going to be at least 2 options. If you're vegetarian, there might be multiple options depending on where you go. And this is in the UK, obviously I can't speak for every country. Other countries are more difficult to be vegetarians in. But yeah, like, it is easy, it's fine, it's so easy to cook for yourself. It's actually, you can cook for yourself really cheap being a vegetarian because meat's usually more expensive. You don't have to go to vegetarian supermarkets. There's usually everything you need in normal supermarkets. Like, honestly, it is so easy to be a vegetarian, and like, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. But you might find it difficult at first. You might slip up and you might eat bits of meat. You might not realise you're eating meat and be eating meat. Your friends in school might try and trick you into eating meat when you're having barbecues and switch your corn burgers for real burgers. That's what my friends did. Not that they ever managed to catch me, but they did try. So yeah, like, it's one of those things, like, don't give up because you eat meat once. You're like, oh well, I failed now being a vegetarian. The point isn't that you never put meat back in your body. Like, that's not the point, at least for me, of being a vegetarian. The point for me is not purposely contributing to like the maltreatment of animals and like the mass marketing of meat, which is bad for like us and bad for the environment, and like just like some of the terrible conditions that can go on, like I said, in certain farming situations. And just for me, it's not like, it's against my ethics. Like, just inside it feels wrong, and you know what I mean? Like I squirm at the thought of like putting a dead animal inside me, and have since I was a kid, and like, that's just how I feel. And like, I don't know how to explain it to somebody that doesn't feel like that. And people are vegetarian for various reasons. Like, I know people who are vegetarian through no moral or ethical reasons, just because they don't like meat. Like, there's no one reason. It's like, if you're not vegetarian for this reason, you're not proper vegetarian. It's like, do you know what? Great. Do you know, if you don't eat red meat and eat everything else, great. If you are a pescatarian, great. If you're a vegetarian, great. If you're a vegan, great. Like, it's all about just trying, and like, I have a lot of respect for anybody that like tries to take care of animals. And yeah, that's basically how I became a vegetarian. So I have not eaten any meat or fish, to my knowledge, since I was about 13. And it is second nature. Like, I literally don't think twice about it. I never really consider stopping being a vegetarian, because I've been a vegetarian for about half of my life now. Like, just literally no point do I ever think maybe I'd stop being a vegetarian, because I don't feel like I'm missing out at all. Like, I don't find life difficult being a vegetarian. I don't feel like I'm missing out. I feel like I eat really interesting and amazing things. Yeah, it never occurs to me. I know people have been vegetarian for years and then go back to eating meat, but I smell bacon when my dad makes it, and you know, I'm fine. Honestly, like, it does not faze me, and I just, yeah, I'm really not interested. Before anybody leaves it in the comment, would I eat an animal if I was stranded on a desert island? Really, 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 so not the point. Yeah, I don't know what else is to say. I find vegetarianism such second nature and so easy that, like, I don't know really what to say. If you've got any more questions, then please feel free to leave them in the comments down below, and good luck if you are attempting to change your diet to include less animal products. I wish you luck, and until next time guys, happy reading, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye! Also, veal, foie gras, never okay. Like, never okay. I like literally can't.